Yes guys, after a long wait, our new projects have arrived here in Amsterdam.
I'm super excited because they're actually right behind me. Come on, I'll take you. Let's go. Guys, you're seeing it. We got not one, but two projects in the house.
As you could also see in the vlog episode, we checked out a number of cars, and our eye fell on the Citroën AMI and this awesome Honda Civic Type R. Daniel is already checking what we need to do with it, and take a look at the interior. All the airbags have deployed. It also has a lot of chassis damage. We've never dealt with that before, and that's something we find super challenging. We bought the Citroën AMI especially for our vlog channel. We're going to restore it here. And now, onto the Honda Civic Type R. It's time to drive our gem off the trailer.
As you can see, it's been extended because this one can't make such an angle as it will be able to later.
So they've really thought this through.
As you know by now, this car has underbody damage, which means all the radiators are damaged, and because of that there's no coolant in the engine. If you leave this car running for more than a few minutes, the head gasket could get damaged. Or even worse, the engine could get irreparably damaged, which would mean it needs a new engine.
Seeing the two vehicles on the trailer, you probably assumed one was ours. That's not true. We got it for free. That's not true either. No, we bought it with the other one.
For more on the Citroën AMI and our plans, follow us on Twins, television vlogs. We're probably going to completely customize this thing there. So if you like that, follow us there for a bit. One small thing, take a look. Besides the damage, this thing is pretty much as good as new.
Really a beauty.
So, a lot of potential. Enough talk about the Citroën AMI. Let's move on to the real content. That's the Honda Type R from 2015. If you saw this car from the left side, you'd think it doesn't have any damage at all. Of course that's not true, because the right front has so much damage. You can't even imagine it. And most of it. Damage is on the underside, subframe, control arm, and partial bodywork.
This will be challenging. The car also has a WOK notification, which we've never handled before.
And that's why we're gonna take you along in the whole process. For us, it's a great challenge that we won't shy away from. I would say let's put the car in the workshop. Let's take a look at the car from underneath, because then I can give you more information about the actual damage.
Just take the whole thing off.
Our gem is finally in our workshop. It took a little while, but here it is at last. I can't wait to get started. Honestly, I just want to take it apart now.
But before we do that, of course, we're going to tell you a bit more about the car, because the condition of the car is really excellent.
There are also booklets included, which I don't think I've shown you yet. That's also really important to us. Service booklets with stamps, take a look at that. A stack of invoices, a manual, 2 keys, and nobody has smoked in it. That's extremely important to us. The seats look neat, and if you look at the back seat, the car looks almost as good as new. Look.
Yes, indeed, very few people have sat there. And yes, hopefully we are going to change that. Because yes, of course, we are going to show this car at car events soon. That is our intention. Once this car is restored, it'll turn heads. Check out the back. It's wild. Big tips. Nice rear. Nice spoiler. I mean, yeah, this is just Japanese domestic market at its max, right? So if this thing gets a flame tune, it's just like a Nissan GT-R in my opinion. It's really just an exotic...
Yeah, look how big that exhaust is.
My shoe fits in there, guys. I always do the fist check, too.
Well, it actually does fit in there.
Yes, what's very important, what we always find very important actually, is that you get the damaged parts with a damaged car. So if something is broken, that it's included. As you just heard, yes indeed. A piece of the exhaust heat shield broke off when taking it off the trailer, and that was also the noise.
Really a shame, of course.
Yeah, there was a pin sticking out of the trailer. That's where the loading ramps were attached. It also broke additional things which was unnecessary. A heat shield from the exhaust was completely torn off.
It's not the end of the world, but it's a pity.
Exactly, thanks for your help. And yeah, well, this kind of thing isn't very exciting, but sometimes there are those extra clips on it. Or snap fasteners you already have, so you don't need to order them separately.
Yeah, but in some cases you're just missing a part, and you don't even know that it's actually missing.
This way, you can make your car whole again, since you know something is missing.
You often see a part number 2. Look, I can already spot one here. Honda has it separately. Do you see that?
Yes, the part number is here.
So at least we know which part we need.
Exactly. Besides that, of course, we have a fog lamp grill. But again, there's a part number in here. So yeah, super practical.
But I think we're missing a fog lamp.
Yeah, it's missing a lamp indeed. Nice pun. And yes, a windshield washer reservoir.
But with the pump included again.
Indeed.
We shouldn't need to reorder that pump if all goes well since it works. Double check it, but I expect it to work.
A pipe is also cracked. Look, we can just replace that with a universal pipe, so that's not very difficult.
But I think this is the overflow if I look at it like this.
No, this is the pump.
Oh no, it's torn.
It is torn. Yeah, it's the pump.
Yes.
And besides that, a vest, which the owner didn't use during the accident because it's still in the packaging.
The Dutch license plates.
Dutch license plates, fog light cover unnecessary. Hey, besides that, we have something that's actually exciting.
This is exciting. Unfortunately, the engine works. This really does look like a component of the engine, but it could just as easily be some intercooler piping.
Yeah, it does look like that indeed. Still, it's good we have it.
Now we also have the bolts. Look, the bolts are included too, right? Although this one's a bit worn out, but still. Yeah.
And apart from that, it's actually really neat.
You mentioned that you're missing a cover plate, right?
Yes, that's right.
I think it's just this one. Look, Honda thought about that by doing it this way.
I just told Don, hey, we're missing a trunk cover plate. Was it in there? Not that the seller forgot to put it in or anything, but anyway, that's not the case. Honda just thought about it cleverly. A double bottom.
A double bottom, but there's still some carpet here. Now that's luxurious.
But no spare wheel then.
No spare wheel. But what do you expect? 19-inch spare wheels included. No jack.
Well, no jack, that's not included.
Can't find it. Yes, when we're at a store or company with those damaged cars.
Hey, so there's your tire repair kit, tire pump kit.
Original Honda. Well, that's great. Good news. The more complete the car, the better for us in future sales.
And now that we actually know what's included, we'll continue with the interior. It's actually spot on except for the airbags that have deployed, right, Don?
Absolutely.
Because we're also hoping that we can save the headliner.
I'll show it as well. You lie on that side, and I'll get in on this side.
Ooh, just a little bit further back.
So as you can see, I don't know if it's very dark. The curtain airbags have deployed.
Just on the right, not the left.
No, not on the left. The impact was mainly on the right.
That's true.
So here as well. Look, there are some creases in it. But from our BMW body repair experience, we know we can fix that by using a hairdryer. And once it was back in its place, with the original airbags in it, everything would be fine again. However, your seatbelt tensioners are locked while they're not on this side.
Let's see. Yes, this one is indeed locked.
We need to find a solution for that, but I think it can be reset. HDMI inputs, USB input. Yeah, this thing is equipped with all the conveniences, which is really awesome. This is also edition 896 out of the 3,000 pieces. I honestly have no idea how many of this type were made, but if you take a look inside, it's really awesome. And everyone is also talking about the manual transmission of this K20C1, if I'm correct. It shifts so incredibly tight and short, it's truly remarkable.
Simply not a mischief gearbox. A really tight transmission if you ask anyone.
I can't judge it yet because I've never really driven it, but let's turn this on for a moment because it's really cool.
Yeah, if I can just look past that airbag.
You can lower the steering wheel anyway, I think, or is it already down?
It's already down. But this is a digital dash, guys, super sleek. Of course, it still has its standard pointers.
But you're really just looking at your tachometer.
Yeah, indeed. Now that you mention it. Look, start, hold the remote. Oh, we're missing the key.
Oh, on the roof, I think.
On the roof, let me check. Indeed, like that. Yeah, without a key.
This is a car that really gets me excited, you know?
Yeah, it's another unique car. It's not an exotic like a Ferrari or Lamborghini we've featured before, but this car still excites us. And I hope you guys are excited too, because for some reason, Honda content really works well, on the other hand. The keys, it's keyless, which is great. It's very modern, even back in 2015. But yeah, I've never had a car that's keyless.
I saw a television turn on over there. It has an HDMI input, so you might be able to watch television on the small screen. Try turning it on. Look, that's really weird. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, what does he say? Radio type R.
Type R, super cool. Does everything work?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Me. Oh, wait, maybe I should turn on the ignition? Look, wow, a needle sweep.
An almost full tank.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, can you do that needle sweep one more time?
Right.
Ah, nice.
And what I also think is super cool is that they actually thought about it. That you also have like a head-up display in this car. It's not a true head-up display, since that projects onto your windshield. But in this car, it's simply on the dashboard in front of you, which is super funny. Ooh, it shows some errors right away. Remote control battery replacement. Hold your brake and clutch when starting. Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Check your system.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. Everything is exposed in this thing.
What is he saying?
Power steering malfunction. Do we have that?
No, because it was working.
It was working?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, yeah. How many meters have you driven already? 5?
Yes, exactly.
Let us know in the comments if this is the original radio.
We think it is, because it shows Type R when you start the car.
You never know. App radios can closely resemble the original.
Can't you see how hard it crashed with the onboard? What was the last top speed? Can you see it?
He has. Let me check.
A lot of things still to figure out. Unfortunately, we can't see what the previous owner did in terms of top speed. That would have been funny. As you can see, a dashboard needs to be replaced. A windshield, a roof airbag, and a seat airbag under Daniel.
Yes, here.
Because that one deployed.
It tore open, but we think we can repair it.
So yeah, there's plenty of fun content to get out of this car. A lot of things we haven't done before. That makes it super challenging for us again.
Let's continue with the damage, because of course we have a lot of damage at the front. Actually, even more underneath. For that, the car needs to go on the lift for a moment. As you can see, the bumper is already pretty loose. That's because we've already pulled on it. A car dealer who sells damaged cars improves their appearance before selling to make more money. Here, everything is held together with small screws, so the broken parts were just quickly screwed back together. This is a good example. Only 2 screws were used, and it was quickly put back in place.
Here also just a screw.
Yeah, that makes it look a bit more complete again, right?
They also admit that when a car like that arrives, it's in such bad shape that no one would want to buy it. And if they just spruce it up a bit, that car will simply fetch a bit more. This company ensures the car is always rollable, so a control arm and subframe had to be welded in this case. Of course, they make it very obvious in the car. Not that you wouldn't notice it, but more just so the car can be rolled or driven off a trailer.
So they do that more out of convenience.
Then actually to cover something up.
Does everything still feel okay, don't you?
Yes, basically it does.
It has huge 19-inch wheels with P0 tires, and those tires are pretty much as good as new.
Take a look at the Brembo brakes on this car. I think these are just the same brakes as on an A45 Aufrecht Melcher Gross Sassbach. Because that one also uses Brembo. Only, it doesn't have Brembo written on it that big. Only, yeah, Aufrecht Melcher Gross Sassbach, I think. We tossed out those old brake discs because of their size. These new ones are also huge. Notice how large the rims are and how small the tire is. It's a really unique look. For a car that comes off the line like this, straight from the factory.
I have to say, they're priced similarly to the Aufrecht Melcher Gross Asbach or something like that. What's that called? A Golf GTI.
A Golf 8 GTI.
So yes, you could indeed compare them with that, also in terms of power. I think their parts are a lot cheaper, because it's Honda. I don't know. I just have the idea that German cars are always a bit more expensive when it comes to parts. For example, a Mercedes or a BMW. Those are really top of the line when it comes to parts, how expensive they are. But anyway, if you actually look inside here, you don't really see much yet. Or actually, you do see a lot. This is all crumpled up, guys, and that's a bit of a problem. I would say let's lift the car a bit higher in the air, then we can take a better look at the damage from underneath. And Don, have you already seen things that make you go,
No, I'm actually happy since I can also see the included parking sensor. We've made the right assessment so far. And now let's take a look at the car from underneath.
This is exactly the panel that just got caught on the trailer.
Yeah, that's a shame since it was mostly intact. I want to take this off for a moment, just to properly inspect the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do now.
We can finally inspect the car from underneath.
And you can actually see almost immediately what an impact the subframe has had. It's not only welded, but also quite bent, causing the mounting points to be bent as well. As we also saw from the front, this right front part is pretty crumpled. A new piece needs to be welded in. I also see here, an aftermarket intercooler from China.
Did he say that?
Yeah, look, a DBTS China intercooler. We were already thinking about an intercooler upgrade ourselves. Well, now we're doing it.
Yeah, everything is broken at the front.
This part we're seeing here, that's not a bolt-on. That's all welding work. That's body work. It's part of the car itself. Kind of like what we did with the FJ Cruiser. Step back a bit and you'll see the triangular bracket is bent here. It's straight in one spot and bent in another. What I'm really happy about is that the car starts. Yeah, it's logical the radiator is leaking after that impact. But the fact that the engine oil is still being held in the oil pan at least says something about the engine and the gearbox being in good shape. Yeah, the drive shafts were fine because of course I was able to drive the car. I want to show you how that company welded the control arm. Look, here you can actually see how the control arm is welded together. And here it actually tore off from the subframe suspension. Of course, they did paint it nicely black again. But yeah, on the other hand, this thing is completely bent like a banana, while here it's actually completely straight. Do you see that?
Completely straight.
And here, as bent as a banana.
So this rim, it's actually supposed to be on the front right of the car, and you can see that too. Look here. There you go. Do you see it? There's a huge bulge in it right here.
It almost looks square.
Yeah, seriously. And not just square, it's not even straight on the outside anymore.
Look, it's dented here too. Here, you can see a huge dent here as well.
But just look from the outside. I saw this while you were driving to the workshop. Look.
I'm curious if a rim like that can be repaired, since a used one costs about 780 euros with value-added tax. It's an expensive rim.
It's an original Type R rim and expensive, so repairing it would be a great bonus. Otherwise, we'll order a new one since we really like this rim. Do you have a better idea, or should we upgrade to a different type?
Because that's also possible, of course.
So is this one actually bent now? Oh, we're rubbing a bit against the wheel arch. It's hanging a little, of course. But other than that, yeah. What's nice is that the P0 tires do hold air. So yeah, that's always a bonus.
So for now, at least we know that we need a complete cooling package for the front. A control arm, a subframe, a dashboard, roof airbags, some steering airbags. So plenty of things to look for, because you don't want to buy everything new. You actually want to do such a rebuild as cheaply and as budget-friendly as possible, but still as correctly as possible. So you actually want to make the right decision of, do I buy it new or do I buy it used?
To make it as profitable as possible for us, of course we're going to use as many used parts as possible. And yeah, these kinds of brackets, those triangle brackets, yeah, those don't really cost much. But for the rest, yeah, the big things like a subframe, if you can already save roughly 900 euros just on that, then you should do it. Because with a damage report like that, they always put new parts on a damage assessment. And that's why a car like that becomes an economic total loss. The exhaust system, however, still needs an upgrade. If I look at the catalytic converter like this,
a 3-inch exhaust without a catalytic converter and a flame tune.
Oh my god, but I don't think you've ever seen an exhaust system like this, because this one is literally a hose. Guys, follow me for a moment. It goes from the top that way, over the subframe it goes that way, all the way to the back, right over the rear axle. And then it splits into these really cute little things.
We don't have an end muffler.
Well, here are two little mufflers.
No, yeah. But is it then an aftermarket exhaust?
Isn't there supposed to be an end muffler here? Look, what's...
Something is supposed to be here. Do you see that?
Yes.
Maybe we still have a nice one, but it's very thin.
This is really cute. Look here.
What is this now? But it seems aftermarket. Only one way to know. If we maybe take off that exhaust system later, because I think it needs a different one.
Does it have a dynamic chassis? But anyway, it's really an incredibly fun rebuild.
You can see an engine mount has been welded here too.
It's broken again too.
Yeah, broken again too.
So yeah, every point we see, we've noted. As you saw, we've stored it in our minds for now. But anyway, we're going to order all of this. Whether it's new or secondhand, we'll consider that based on the prices online. If new isn't much more expensive than used, we'll buy it new. A subframe, as I mentioned, or better yet, a front right control arm. We found one online for 250 euros, but at the dealership, it's 850 euros plus value-added tax.
So yeah, then it comes to about 1,000 euros at the dealership.
And we found it used for 250 euros, which is obviously just a much better deal.
And what I want to add to this damage project is that actually, in terms of the bodywork, there isn't a lot of damage, so there won't be much painting involved. And that's why a car like this still looks original and not like a damaged car.
One bumper corner needs to be ordered. I'm not sure if it's the whole bumper or just the corner yet.
This just needs to be painted, so to speak. And of course, that's another plus for the price.
It's a sick color from Honda. It's called Champion White, and it's actually only found on the Type R models. And I think they started, if I'm not mistaken, with the Integress with the Champion White. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe it started with the Integress in Champion White.
I hope you guys have gotten excited too. If not, you will now. This is truly impressive and has great tuning potential. Great restoration. Quite a challenge, especially with the chassis. Also, do you not know how a wok is assembled?
Well, of course, we're going to explain that to you in our videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up. And this project is going to be insanely cool. And soon, there will be another exotic car on our channel.
So stay tuned for that. With all that being said,
Next episode, we'll dismantle the beast. See you soon, ciao.